mercenary, mercenary, assassinate, assassinate, patron, patron, assertion, assertion, contend, contend, demise, demise, abort, abort, mutineer, mutineer, flail, flail, shore up, wavering, wavering. Wagner mercenary group founder Yevgeny Prigozhin was assassinated, probably on the orders of longtime patron Vladimir Putin, the U.S. said, an assertion the Kremlin denied. Prigozhin and his number two were among 10 people assumed killed in what intelligence officials contend was likely a mid-air explosion and subsequent crash of his plane. Prigozhin's demise happened to occur exactly 2 months after his aborted march on Moscow. In his first comments on the crash, Putin said his former ally turned mutineer was a man with a complicated fate. As the Kremlin leader continues his brutal and flailing war on Ukraine, Prigozhin's death may have shored up his wavering reputation as unchallengeable. South Pole, South Pole, rover, rover, lunar, lunar, mugshot, mugshot, mastermind, mastermind, sprawling, sprawling, racketeering, racketeering, dormant, dormant, reinstate, reinstate. That begs the question. That begs the question. India made history this week by becoming the first nation to successfully send a spacecraft near the moon's south pole. It also joined China as the only other country with an active rover on the lunar surface. This after Russia's lunar effort ended in disaster. In Atlanta, Donald Trump was booked and had his mugshot taken, a first for a former president, for allegedly masterminding a sprawling racketeering conspiracy, the fourth set of felony charges leveled against the Republican this year as he campaigns to return to the White House. Trump posted the mugshot on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. His account had been dormant since the platform reinstated it in November. House hunters in the U.S. are encountering the most unaffordable market in almost 4 decades. And rubbing salt in the wound, mortgage rates have jumped to 7.23%, a 22-year high. That begs the question, who is still buying? First-time purchasers desperate to own a home, according to a Zillow survey. The real estate company is trying to lure struggling homebuyers with a new program that offers mortgages with just 1% down. Subject to, to date, scrap, bargaining power, en route, batter, evacuation, landfall, sparsely, driverless, hail, commercialization, The U.S. named 10 drugs that will be subject to Medicare's first-ever price negotiations. It's the government's strongest effort to date to tackle high drug costs. If drug makers can't persuade courts to scrap the program's new bargaining powers, The medicines include treatments for cancer, diabetes, and heart disease that can cost tens of thousands of dollars a year or more. Hurricane Idalia strengthened en route to Florida. Forecasters say life-threatening winds and a catastrophic storm surge will batter the Sunshine State. More than 20 counties are under evacuation orders, and schools across the state canceled classes. The first Atlantic hurricane to hit the U.S. this season is expected to make landfall tomorrow in the sparsely populated Big Bend region. An above-average number of storms is expected this year because of extremely warm water in the North Atlantic, according to NOAA. Phoenix, San Francisco, and Austin are currently the only cities where you can hail a driverless robotaxi, but that list could grow by a dozen or more within the next year. After investing tens of billions of dollars in research and development, robotaxi companies Cruise and Waymo are shifting their focus to commercialization. Most of the planned markets are in the Sun Belt, where the weather is favorable. AVs struggle in snow, and state policies are welcoming.